Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another great episode of Bahrain Now, your source of local initiatives, happenings, talents, and trends. I'm your host, Khalid Hidris, here to walk you through our exciting lineup of segments and personalities from around Bahrain. So don't go away, we'll be right back. One of the key features that distinguish us as humans from everything else in the world is intelligence. This ability to understand, apply knowledge, and improve skills has played a significant role in our evolution and in establishing human civilization. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is a branch of computer science aiming to build machines capable of mimicking human intelligence. It involves creating algorithms that allow computers to learn from and make decisions or predictions based on data rather than following only explicitly programmed instructions. His Highness Sheikh Nasser Research and Development is one of the leading institutions in the region that focuses and supports innovation in this field. The center also aims to strengthen the Kingdom of Bahrain's position as a hub for innovation in artificial intelligence by providing various sectors, including entrepreneurship with intelligence solutions, being among the business accelerators, as well as providing them with expertise and innovations that would enable them to enhance their productivity. To know more about that, we are pleased to be joined today by the chairman of the Global Group for Artificial Intelligence and executive advisor to His Highness Sheikh Nasser Center and Research and Development in Artificial Intelligence, Dr. Jassim Haji. Welcome, Doctor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me here.
You know, it really is a pleasure to talk to someone about artificial intelligence, especially with how popular it's become. So could you tell us a little bit about, in your terms, like how would you explain artificial intelligence and where did it start?
I think you had a good start mimicking human being. So what is human beings is a mixture of your memories, your behavior, reaction, decision making, predictions in the future. These are the things that we do day in, day out. And artificial intelligence with its capabilities and capacities mimics human beings' activities, but it does them much better. It does it faster, more efficient, more accurate, more consistent. So this is where artificial intelligence is taking over. It's not coming from somewhere else, but it's the human behaviors, but with a lot of data. You know, if you look at the data today, when you look at the structure, unstructured data, we are predicting by 2026 to have 19.2 zettabyte of data. And if you are familiar with zettabyte, it's 21 zeros. So that much of data for the future is going to be magnificent in terms of its analytics, its behaviors, it's looking at the patterns of the data and making sense out of all that.
I can imagine. I mean, it sounds like quite a hefty task, and it seems like not so long ago, artificial intelligence seemed to be in the realm of sci-fi, and now it's coming to fruition. And on that note, I want to ask you a little bit about what are the fields that you think would benefit the most, practically speaking, from artificial intelligence?
Well, it's probably everything or everywhere. You know, some have preceded others, and but every field, you go on the Google today and put artificial intelligence in anything, in cooking, in agriculture, you will find many applications and people who have implemented it. But nonetheless, those fields that have benefited from artificial intelligence thus far are the health sector. You know, when you look at the prediction of diseases, the cancers, the heart attacks, you see Google's, they can scan your eyes and predict if there is a heart attack on the way or not. There are chips that Elon Musk is building on the human's brains. So there are many medical applications to it. But if you look at the education, it's moving so much ahead. The education in the future will be all about the virtual education, virtual tutors, where we will have a one-on-one between the children and artificial intelligence. It has all your histories and it guides you at different times of the day what to do, what are your weaknesses. You name it, in the industry, in the banking. So artificial intelligence is conquering every part of our businesses and lives.
Incredible. It seems like it's really going to work its way into the fabric of our society. And now I'd like to ask you a little bit about the establishment of His Highness Sheikh Nasser Center for Research and Development in Artificial Intelligence and the importance of such an initiative.
Well, first of all, His Highness Sheikh Nasser's Training Institute was founded in 2014, which is like a secondary school industrial trainings. Over 2 years ago, the demand on the artificial intelligence and of course the vision of the leadership to establish an innovation center, we have established an artificial intelligence research and development center. It's first of its kind in the region. And why AI Research Development Center? Because of the future growth for Bahrainis, finding job opportunities, leading them to the areas that is really going to be the differential between the nations in the future. We in Bahrain have a lot of capabilities in the youth, especially in the innovation and technologies. So they need to develop their technological skills, and not only for Bahrain, but also expand to the region. If you look today at the big 5 or big 6 tech companies, all their research and development centers are located in South America, Eastern Europe, East Asia, Indian subcontinent. There are none in the Middle East. So we are establishing ourselves as one of the first, and also to be able to, part of the innovations, attract more international companies to collaborate with us, but also to work on our developments to export them to the neighboring countries. So His Highness Sheikh Nasser's AI Research Development Center, today over 15 to 20 scientists, and expanding rapidly to cover many areas and provide opportunities to the youth to practice their skills. And we try to guide them and train them to come to the international level. And we have many, many examples of solutions that's provided that are on the very high level and very complicated.
Well, it's always amazing to see how much that the government and the leadership of Bahrain invest in the youth, and always keeps up to date with any technological developments. And on that note, I mean, AI definitely has a lot of capabilities, even in the field of government. Could you tell us a little bit about the applications of that?
Yeah, I mean, in the governments, of course, around the world, especially in the services, when it comes to the citizens, on the interactions with citizens, and providing them with self-services and autonomous actions that is required. For instance, you look at even in the criminology, you don't need to wait anymore for the crimes to occur to react to them. There's a lot of predictions on what is happening. There's predictions on the environmental, on the disasters, when and how it's going to happen because of the data, the analytics that we work with, and a lot of data now with the generative AI, as we call them, things like you mentioned Bing, but also Bard and ChatGPT, DALL-E2, and others, and many, many others. The citizens are able to produce data that can be used by the governments to react to them. So in agriculture, in the industry, that's Industry 4.0, that's the terminology used for the industries to move to the next generation, or they call it the Revolution 4.0. We're working a lot in the health sectors, in the hospitals, in you name it, in the banking sectors, what is concerning the completion of fintech or blockchain. So actually every part of the government and the leadership in the courts, this is a lot happening on that, in the public prosecutions. The leadership and the ministers are focusing on a lot of AI trends.
And what would you say would be the main development in AI that we've witnessed here in Bahrain?
Well, if we talk about the His Highness Sheikh Nasser's AI research and development, we had several key projects. And one of them probably is in the National Audit Office, And a lot of data has been massaged there and reviewed, and then a comparison. And you can never get to a stage, as many as people you have, to get to the level that you are able to review all those documents. So you always have a sampling. And this happens worldwide for the auditors. And sampling is nothing but probably 5% of the documents that you have to review. But that can never be enough for you to be confident of your processes. But with artificial intelligence, with its efficiency, with the review, the OCR, the comparison that it does, which reduces them from days to minutes, you are able to increase that percentage to probably 90% and more. And that can happen to any back-end activities that happens. In the industry, we did a lot in the field of oil and gas, in Bahrain Petroleum. We did a lot in the aluminium. I'll mention about it. That's one of the key projects that has been also developed. And other industries, such as shipping industry, where we analyze the usage of electricity and probably rationalize it. A lot's been done with the departments and the Ministry of Interior. So there are a lot happening in Bahrain that bringing us to that level. Probably is still not visible to many, but in the back end, is one of the significant activities that are unique to the region as well, I would say.
Definitely, and I think that it's incredible that so much of these achievements have come from Bahrain, and it's a region-wide achievement. Now, I want to go back to what we were talking about the youth, because I think these days people are really growing up with technology in a way that they never have before. So how important is it to get the youth involved in and to raise awareness for when it comes to the use or the applications of AI?
Well, before answering that, I would say most of my employees are subordinates, the scientists are all fresh graduates from bachelor or master degree from universities who have been experiencing hands-on artificial intelligence. And now, of course, we have to take it a bit earlier to the levels of the secondary schools or even primary schools to work on artificial intelligence, because they are ready. If you look at UK, Microsoft and Google, they even recruit youth who are just graduated from the secondary school. They haven't even entered university because they know they are ready. So the youth are our pillars for that. So probably disseminating the information not only to the youth, but also to their parents, to those people who guide them, because they should understand which world we are facing in the future. So understanding of artificial intelligence is important for everybody, for the parents, for the teachers. So we get strong structure for our future with these youth. And one other thing I want to probably touch upon here is that AI does not mean everybody has to be an AI and data scientist. You can implement AI in your job. You as a presenter can implement it. Somebody who's in a medical field can learn AI and the tools and can implement it. An engineer can do it, the teacher can do it. So there is an AI applications and there is AI science. So everybody will have an advantage of using AI, and those who have AI capabilities will supersede their colleagues who are without.
Now, that was very well said, and I think that you're right. Like, it is really amazing to see that AI really, it sounds quite exclusive, but actually when you think about it, it has all of these amazing applications. And like you said, like if someone like me can use it, and I don't think that my field, I wouldn't have thought that my field was anything related to AI, but the fact that I can also use it just shows how capable the technology is. Now, continuing forward, I'd like to say that His Highness Sheikh Nasser Center for Research and Development in Artificial Intelligence, it recently won an award for the best project for artificial intelligence and Internet of Things applications. And during the activities of the 6th edition of the Bahrain Smart Cities Summit 2023. Now, what does this achievement represent?
Well, I just want to add that since our inception, this is the 6th award that we are receiving, and from different countries in the region, from Abu Dhabi, from Dubai, several times from Riyadh and Saudi Arabia. They distinguish our work because what we do, we don't just bring ready-made solutions from corporates and just try to implement them here or re-implement them. What we do, we use open source with Python just to get a little bit technical, and Django we put as a framework, and we develop it from scratch, and we customize it to the need of the people. You will always face uncertainties when you have ready-made solutions in AI and try to implement it in the corporate, because that's not fit for you. You always find 30% that you have to develop, you have to adjust, and it doesn't really match your requirements, because the corporates, they develop them for probably 20 million people, so they're not going to change it for every individual organization. But what we do with the Bahraini team that we have, we develop it in such a way that fits every organization. So there are no two solutions. If we talk about chatbot, there are not two chatbots which are the same. Probably in the language, in the term of learning curve or training the model of the data, they all change. So those are recognitions to our various projects that we have probably demonstrated them in details, and they are very unique to the region, of course, to Bahrain.
Amazing. And going beyond the local scope as well, I mean, His Highness Sheikh Nasser Center for Research and Development in Artificial Intelligence, it deals with and cooperates with local and international institutions, as you're saying. Can you tell us about how important, how vital, and how fruitful these collaborations are for someone in your field?
Well, I mean, for us in His Highness Sheikh Nasser's R&D Center, the collaborations are not meant to receive solutions and implement them here. It's an exchange of data. So it's some of our experiences are being used or benefited by other mega research centers in the region or internationally, and vice versa. We discuss always the developments of artificial intelligence, because don't forget, this is not a technology that, like other technologies, that what we've seen in decades, that comes and implemented and it gets studied. If we do not update ourselves every day, and sometimes every hour, with the developments, we can never catch up with others. So it is a running away field, especially now with the Gen AI that we mentioned. Every day there is a new app. So we have to keep up with them. We have to even be developing in a short span of time. So we can no longer take our pace and put 6 months for an implementation of a project or so, because by then you find another solution is implemented, and it has to be scalable and volatile. So we can always build on it and not shelf it once another solution comes. So the center is trained, and the people are trained to look at the research part of it and the development, and collaborate with other universities and other institutes to be able to benefit from the best of the breeds.
Brilliantly said. And how would you say that you value the role of the royal and government support, as well as the local initiatives, in encouraging the Bahraini youth to develop their capabilities in artificial intelligence?
Well, I mean, it all started with His Majesty's speech in 2019 in the opening of the Parliament and Shura, when he clearly directed us to focus on digital economy and artificial intelligence. Of course, that has given us the guidelines, the directives to work on. His Highness Sheikh Nasser's Center, His Highness, the Chairman of the Board of the Trustees, always support the youth and innovation that we are obliged to. And we are, of course, against the responsibility that we have to carry on our shoulders, but all the youths are up to it. We don't forget also the role of His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, that always supports also youth in artificial intelligence. He has for the second year recognized all the CEOs supporting AI. A month ago we were going to have AI in sports. The third conference is an international conference, Bahrain being the first to organize AI in sports and how AI is used today in football and others, in the fitness and injuries. And another event is coming up beginning of October, is how the disability and disabled youth can use artificial intelligence in their field, because they are an important part of the society, and there are a lot of talents there that the leadership is supporting them, and we're putting them in the front line to be able to display their capabilities.
Brilliant. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I would encourage everyone in Bahrain, starting from the youth, because those are the pillars of our future, building a society that is built on the innovation, but we also seek the support of others, the parent, the society, the management, executives on artificial intelligence, whether it's to support these initiatives, guide them, and of course there is all the opportunities for us in Bahrain to expand in this area, to go in the region and probably in the Middle East.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Viewers, don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to the finish line. A huge thank you to all of our guests for joining us tonight, and another huge thank you to all of you watching us at home. As always, be sure to reach out to us on our social media accounts shown below. We'd love to hear from you. This was Khalid Hidris, and until next time, good night and God bless.